Hey guys, welcome to webisode 16 of Life TV. My name is James Bridges. I'm a Gamilaroi man from Up Crescent Headway, and I'm currently running my own Park Warrior programs at Yo Park, Ashfield, 3 p.m. every Wednesday, so drop by and have a workout session. In this week's webisode, we chat to Rebecca Mooney from Sydney Secondary College about stress management. We talk to Ben Bowen, who takes us fishing, and talks not only about tackle, but stress management and tobacco use. We look at a great app called Strava. It is a free mobile app and website with which you can track your physical activity using your smartphone. And have you any idea about the sugar in your food? We have a fascinating video on that topic too.
So my dad grounded me. I haven't even been smoking that long. I know smoking is bad, but it can't be that bad because he smokes too.
Lillian, I'm home. Children learn from those they admire. What are you teaching them?
What are you doing? Where'd you get that from?
Quit for yourself, quit for your family, quit for life.
Up first, we have a yarn with Beck about her work at Sydney Secondary College.
Are you happy to have the conversation with all the kids?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. So, how do you have a healthy diet? Do you have an idea of a healthy diet?
Yeah.
So, with your idea of a healthy diet, do you sort of maintain it? How many times a week would you have takeout?
At least, twice.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
So what do you identify as takeaway?
Like going to the pub for a pub meal or
Yep. So
Thai or something takeaway.
do you look at Subway as takeaway?
I don't eat Subway.
Don't eat Subway? Kids at Blackwater eat Subway?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times a week would you have vegetables?
Oh, every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
And fruit?
Every day.
So you do have sort of that concept of a healthy diet, and you still fit in your cheat days here and there.
Oh yeah. Definitely. But yeah, it's more about how much I eat.
Yep.
So like if I like something, I'll eat a lot of it. It might not necessarily be the worst food, like it's not McDonald's or Subway or something like that, but if there's like, I make a nice stew or whatever, I can't help but have a little bit more than I should.
Yep.
So it's more about that.
Like when you're shopping for the kids?
Yeah.
What, do they sort of eat same as you, or do they have more sort of takeaway just because they're young?
No, I'm a bit of a Nazi when it comes to their food. I'll let them have treats and things like that, but they're not allowed to have, Cocoa Pops for breakfast or anything like that. I might get them in the holidays, just being nice.
Yep.
But like, they know things are treats. So they pretty much eat the way we do. Like I always make sure they've got 2 pieces of fruit in their lunchbox.
Yep.
Cheese and crackers and things like that. And then they'll have they shouldn't have it, but like a packet of chips or a packet of popcorn. And that's like the worst thing that's in their lunchbox.
Yep. Cool.
Which is kind of mean because there's other kids.
Yep.
They go, other kids get chocolate, but no.
So what about dealing with stress?
Well, I could go and exercise.
Could go and exercise?
Or go and meet my friends, I guess, and take myself, because it's usually work or home life that's stressful.
Cool. Yep. So there's exercise, which is a stress reliever, which you've identified. Social situations, which again can relieve stress. Have you sort of looked at connecting with culture as a way to relieve stress?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
So what about something like fishing? Do you enjoy fishing?
I love fishing.
You love fishing?
Yeah.
So
But see, that's something I do with my kids.
Yeah, so that's something you do with your kids, so that would stress you out.
Well, it doesn't. It's a nice family, like it's something that we do together that's nice, and the kids are quite calm in doing it, but yeah.
So what would be some things that you'd put in place in your life to deal with your stress?
I think I've just got to go and exercise more. I
Just
think
gotta-
making time for myself, like after they go to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't join a gym because it's too expensive.
Yeah, that's another thing. Time costs.
Yeah.
So that sort of stuff is expensive. So you've come with us to Blackwater, where we did a Park Warrior and Kickstart program.
Yeah.
Where it sort of takes the cost and time out of it. So you as a teacher could participate in that Park Warrior.
I would, yeah. If the kids did it, I would do it.
So I guess another thing that maybe you haven't thought about too much until maybe going through the app is looking at your family history as far as health goes. So how did that look out with sort of the cancer and the diabetes sort of stuff?
Lots of diabetes in my family. My dad just found out that he's diabetic, and he's not overweight, but his mum had diabetes. I know that my other 2 grandparents were diabetic. One of them died of cancer. So the cancer and the diabetes is a big thing in my family, I guess.
So, boys, what's the likelihood of Indigenous people going to hospital for cardiovascular diseases? 2 out of 3. 2 to 3 times more likely than non-Indigenous people. What's some approaches that you sort of take? So you're not a smoker, you used to be a smoker.
Yeah.
So how did you sort of give up smokes?
I just gave up. I was only a social smoker. So like if I was out or something, I might have 1 or 2 cigarettes thinking, oh, I was like, cool. But everybody else was doing it as well. Like I had to be with them. Like I would be the only person left inside because they were all going smoking. But now I just don't smoke. It was more about my kids.
So that was the reason for family?
Where my husband's a full-time smoker and I would like him to stop. And I can see that he gets a lot sicker than I do. Like chest infections, throat infections, coughing. He gets stressed if he doesn't have them, those sorts of things. And it costs a lot of money. So I don't want to spend $100. If I was a smoker and he was a smoker, we'd spend at least $200 on cigarettes a week. He'd buy a packet of cigarettes a day and it might last him sort of like a day and a bit, but he'll still have to buy a packet every day.
So it is hard financially. So I think we looked at someone else that's been through the Life app as well and done some tattoo stuff with us, talking about tobacco use. And I think it worked out to be like $6,000, $8,000 a year.
I'd say at least, because if he goes out on the weekend, he'll have at least a packet. So that would have been 2 packets that day that he's bought.
So how do you see sort of school kids, like teenagers that you work with, how do they sort of deal with their smoking if they're trying to quit?
I think it's really hard for them because they don't know how to quit. Or there's not a lot of support for them to quit. There is kids who don't smoke and they'll be like, that's stupid, don't do it. But the kids who are already so into smoking, and I say like they're so dependent on it, so if they are stressed or something happens at school, the first thing they do is like, I need a cigarette, and that'll get them into more trouble at school. So they don't actually know how to deal with the stress of quitting either.
If you had some advice for other people that are going to sort of deal with stress, and what advice would you give them to sort of maintain a healthy lifestyle?
I just think about what you eat and think about what you do with your body. So whether if you're smoking or whatever, try and cut down. Don't try and go cold turkey because I've seen that hasn't worked with my husband. It just makes it more stressful and it makes it stressful for the people around them. And just be active. So if the kids are in the park, run around with them. Don't sit down and look at your phone. Like try and get as active as you can, because I guess my kids don't let me sit down. I have to get up and play with them, which is a good thing. But try and be as active as you can.
I guess another thing, seems that you're so busy, tied up with all the other kids and with your own kids and with work. When was the last time that you went to the doctors for a preventative health check?
I haven't been for like I say 2 years.
So
for a preventable one, like there's nothing wrong with me, I'm completely healthy, but just getting a checkup, it's probably been about 1.5 to 2 years.
So do you know how often you're meant to get one?
Probably like every 6 months or so.
Every 6 months. So from completing the app and just having this conversation, what's some things that you're going to change?
I guess I'm going to have to do that, because the doctors do want you, if they're joined up to the Closing the Gap thing, they get you to do it, and they send out all these letters saying, hey, come and see our nurse, come and see our nurse.
Are you the smoker in the family? Do you know how concerned your loved ones are for you? How many times have you told them you'll quit? Do you realise how important you are to them? Remember, traditional smoke heals. Tobacco smoke kills.
Your habit affects more people than just you. Quit for yourself, quit for family, quit for life.
Up next, Ben takes us fishing on the tranquil waters of the harbour.
Yep, just down at Mort Bay down in Balmain, doing the fishing program for Old Ways, New Ways. A lot of the time we use our fishing programs to help people de-stress and find new ways and new coping strategies. As you can see today, just sitting down on the waterfront, we've got a beautiful day, a little bit of overcast, not too much sun, beautiful sort of temperature for us. Gives us a stage to get out and remove ourselves from problems, but also be able to have the clarity and the space to think about what's going on. So many of us face a lot of pressures at home, pressures with family, pressures with work, and it's hard to find the time to do a lot of these activities, but we do find the rewards for these sort of activities are great. So the fiddling and the tying of lines and the practice of that sort of stuff and baiting up and casting and being patient really gives you the mindset to start to think about how to unwind your own problems and how to deal with them. And it also gives you a positive coping strategy. So a lot of our coping strategies might be around smoking or going out socialising at the pub on a Friday night trying to de-stress and that sort of thing. This is a great way for us just to have that social interaction with people, be able to give ourselves that space, but also be able to have a positive one that's not going to do us any damage or affect us for the rest of the week. So hopefully you can come down, you can join us, and we can get some more done. So just hooking up, it's the second time this morning that we've had a decent bite and line has been snapped. We're on light gear, so that's it's always a bit of fun to try to wrestle something in, but a little bit annoying when we've been standing here fishing, but it's part and parcel of it. And this is the part that we do discuss with a lot of people when we're talking about tobacco journeys and where they're on about that they do struggle with a lot of the fiddling or keeping their hands busy. And we find when we're holding some tobacco conversations with people, an activity like weaving or fishing and that sort of thing does keep them quite busy. It busies the hands, it busies the mind, keeps them focused on a task that they can deal with, which helps them begin to discuss a lot of the tobacco journey, because it opens them up, because they're doing another activity that makes it a little bit easier to talk because they're not so focused on the conversation. We find also that these programs like the Old Ways, New Ways, especially the fishing, open us up for a lot more social interaction with people. So as you can see today, while we're having a fish, we're having a lot of downtime. There's plenty of stories going around, plenty of jokes being said that is making it quite an enjoyable morning, even though we haven't landed anything as of yet. Hopefully that will change in this next cast. So what else am I missing, Stephen?
Fish.
As we can see, it's quite deep water, and at this time of year we do get some trevally and a couple of bigger fish, but a lot of bait fish as well. So we do get a fair bit of mullet in here, which does bring in some bull sharks and that sort of stuff at this sort of time, the January, February time of year. So although we'd like to be out in the fishing kayaks, I wasn't too keen to get out there this morning on a bit of an overcast morning with a nice sheen on the water that we can't see too far down. So I feel quite safe up here on my little tower of power.
You just got home, you're going to the gym. Yeah, I wanted to go too. At 7. Yeah, that key max class.
What are you doing in Mum's bag? You better not be looking for a smoke.
Your habit affects more people than just you. Quit for yourself, quit for family, quit for life.
Next, we look at the cool Strava app for recording your physical activity.
Strava is a free mobile app and website with which you can track your physical activity using your smartphone. Strava lets you track your running, walking, surfing, kayaking, or in this case, my ride from Leichhardt to Redfern. Just open the app, Jump on your bike or slip on your runners and hit record. Strava measures your distance, time, speed, and how many hills you went up and down. Here you can see the hills that I went up and down, and here are the breathtaking speeds that I reached. You can share your more glorious moments, such as a personal best, on Facebook or leave comments that will be uploaded along with your activity to your Strava.com account. The Strava website allows you to analyze your activity in a bit more detail: distance, time, elevation, average speed, and approximately how much energy you burn. Here I can see where on the journey I reached my top speed and where I was challenged by the hills. I can zoom in on my slower segments to see how I could improve my personal best. Strava is a fun, free app that allows you to compete and socialize with your friends online, share photos, or just keep a diary of your physical activity.
Are you smoking around that baby again? What's wrong with you? You should know better than that.
Your habit affects more people than just you. Quit for yourself, quit for family, quit for life.
Finally, we have a short video about sugar. Cutting back on sugar is something that we should all do, but realizing how much sugar is in your everyday foods is the first step.
Food gives us energy and nutrients so that our bodies can do the things we need to do each day. One chocolate bar contains more energy, sugar and fat than 3 bananas. Chocolate bars cost around $2, while a banana costs around 60 cents. A 600ml bottle of soft drink can have more than 12 teaspoons of sugar in it. This is more sugar than your body needs in a day and can lead to conditions like diabetes. Some endurance athletes use small sips of energy drinks to give them a top-up of energy to finish an event. Do you really need this much energy for everyday activities? Choose healthy food options and eat to live well.
Okay, Ian, is there anything else?
Yeah, I'll get a packet of my regular smokes too, please.
That's $23.20.
Well, I've only got $22.
$23.20.
How much does smoking really cost you? Quit for yourself, quit for family, quit for life.
Thanks guys for watching webisode 16. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day.